Welcome to NerdTech, the most money-saving tech channel in all of YouTube. Today we're going to cover how to flash firmware on a Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. Are you having issues with sudden battery drain on your newer Galaxy Watch? I have seen so many complaints on tech forums about this issue and decided to make a video for educational purposes only. I personally had sudden battery drain, where my watch would charge and last for 2.5 days, and then suddenly it went down to about 12 or 13 hours per charge, and that was unacceptable. This is specifically for Samsung watches with the Tizen skin over Wear OS, which is starting with the Watch 4 and newer. So you're probably asking yourself, why flash the watch? You may have had a bad update that broke functionality on your watch and want to go back to original. It's impossible to do so without sending it in to Samsung to have flashed, except for now. Before you would consider flashing your watch, please make sure that it is charged to 100% and ready to go. Keep in mind that this could mess up your watch. It could brick your watch. It could really damage your watch. So I offer no warranties on this. This is from my experience only. I have a Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic in the US, which is the SMR890. The file I used was the SMR890 that you see here on the screen, and I used this link, which I'll put into the description below soon. When you click the link, this is what you'll be greeted with. This allows you to look for your particular model and download the correct file. So please be sure to click the right one and download the correct file. Understand that the reason that this is not a Samsung page is that Samsung does not offer the firmware publicly for their watches. They do offer firmware for their phones, but not their watches. I have no idea why. But if you want to download these, do so at your own risk. And please let Samsung know how pleased you are that they were so helpful. Next, you'll need to download NetOdin. It is a web or a Wi-Fi version of the classic Odin tool that's used by people who want to flash images to their Samsung Galaxy phones. This is a nice way to do it for a watch because watches do not have a connector on them, which would allow you to connect directly using ADB or anything like that. So use at your own risk again, and this is the link. It will be down in the description below. Let's prepare to flash the watch. You've downloaded the firmware and the NetOdin tool. I went ahead and downloaded over to a watch directory. So you have NetOdin and netodin.zip, and then you also have the firmware for here. So when you extract the firmware, it will create a directory for it, and then you want to copy that tar file. I copied it over to the watch directory that I have on my hard drive, and then I also extracted NetOdin here. When you look at NetOdin, there'll just be one exe, so you just double click that and open it up. Make sure if you have a VPN that you turn that off. So I have Nord, but we'll go ahead and turn that off and make sure that's off. Then we need to connect your watch to the same Wi-Fi as your computer. You can do that under connections on your watch and select your Wi-Fi, put in your password, and make sure it's engaged with your local Wi-Fi, the same Wi-Fi as your computer you're using right now. Now that we have the watch and the computer all connected to the same Wi-Fi, we can put our watch into download mode. Here are the step-by-step instructions. Go ahead and screenshot it, but I'm going to go through it now. In order to set your watch into download mode, press and hold these two buttons while the watch is on or off.
And while it says turn off and all that, just ignore that. But when it says rebooting, let go and hit this 3 times on the top. Then hit this again until you come down to here, which is wireless. Press and hold that. Keep holding. Let go. And now it is in download mode specifically. If you wanted to get it into AP mode, you double click this. It says connection mode changed, AP loading, and then it now shows its name as far as its model number and all that. And you will use that in a bit to connect to its Wi-Fi.
Now that your watch is in download mode or AP mode, now we need to flash your watch. So what we'll need to do is we will connect your Wi-Fi over to a Wi-Fi of your watch. Keep in mind you will have no internet on your PC when you switch over to this, but it will take a few minutes for this to appear. So please be patient after you've put your watch in download/AP mode. It will take a few minutes for that to appear. Once it does, click on it and connect. Wait for it to connect. And then you'll want to bring up the location where you extracted NetOdin, open up NetOdin, and it should take a minute or two and recognize your watch here. Okay. Now that your watch is in download mode or AP mode, whatever you want to call it, you are now connected to your Wi-Fi with your watch, and you'll want to go into your Wi-Fi connection. And after a few minutes, you will see a Wi-Fi connection from your watch. You need to be able to connect to that, but make sure that you're patient. It will take about 1 to 2 minutes for that to happen, depending on your network speed. Go ahead and connect to the watch, and this will just take a moment. And while that happens, then we need to go to where we extracted NetOdin and open up the exe here. Give it a minute or two, and then we should be able to see our watch appearing here. It'll just take a moment. We need to, this is the watch. Then we need to hit AP and then look for our tar file that we extracted before and tell it that is the tar file. Then I'm going to go ahead and click start. You'll have a bunch of messages here, and let me just go ahead and start that. So it's going through and it's re-imaging the watch. It will have an indicator in green right here as it goes along. So just be careful, and this will take quite a few minutes, but we'll time it and see how long it takes.
Completed after 23 minutes. I had to uninstall the VPN because it kept trying to reconnect. Make sure you have a pure network, that you're not doing any other processes in the background while you flash the watch. Otherwise, you'll have to do it again. Make sure that you have time after this to deal with several hours of updates from Samsung, because they'll want to get you up to speed on their updates. Also, do not select the overnight option, since you will have a couple of those and it won't continue on. Otherwise, you'll be going through several nights. Also, it will have a shorter battery life right after this, but it has to recalibrate the battery life for the watch, and it will improve over time. I'm currently at about 24 hours. Also, save the files from this process somewhere special on your computer so you don't forget, and also bookmark, share, and subscribe so that you won't miss another update. Thank you so much. Have a great day.